When people look at success from the outside, they often see only the bright lights, the moments of glory, the trophies, the applause, the headlines. What they don't see are the quiet hours behind the scenes, the lonely training sessions, the sacrifices, the repeated failures, and the constant discipline that make those moments possible. The truth is simple. Talent may open the door, but discipline keeps you inside the room. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's easy to train when motivation is high, when the sun is shining, and when everything feels exciting. But discipline is what carries you on the dark days, the cold mornings, the painful injuries, the disappointments, the doubts. Those are the moments when discipline whispers, "Keep going, show up again." Discipline is not built overnight. It's built one decision at a time. Each time you choose to wake up early and train, you strengthen it. Each time you resist the temptation to cut corners, you strengthen it. Each time you repeat a skill for the 1,000th time, you strengthen it. Over weeks, months, and years, these small choices compound into something powerful: mastery. Think of a free kick. From the stands, people see a ball bend beautifully into the top corner and call it talent or even luck. What they don't see are the countless hours spent on the training ground, striking ball after ball, correcting small errors, adjusting angles, and refining technique. The magic they celebrate is really discipline in disguise. But discipline goes beyond the physical act of training. It shapes your lifestyle, what you eat, how much rest you allow yourself, the routines you build, the focus you maintain. All of these choices reflect discipline. They may not be glamorous, but they form the invisible architecture of success. Without that structure, talent collapses under the weight of inconsistency. Discipline also teaches sacrifice. To stay committed to a dream, you must be willing to give things up: nights out, comfort, sometimes even relationships that don't support your vision. Every no you say to distractions is really a yes to your long-term goals. At first, those sacrifices feel painful, but over time, they become sources of pride because they remind you of the standard you set for yourself. Perhaps the most powerful lesson discipline offers is freedom. It sounds like a paradox. How can rules and routines bring freedom? But think about it. The disciplined athlete walks into competition with confidence, knowing the work has been done. The disciplined student sits down for an exam with less fear, because preparation has replaced doubt. Discipline removes the chaos of chance and replaces it with the stability of habit. And here's another truth: discipline is contagious. When one person shows up every day, pushing themselves, refusing excuses, it raises the standard for everyone around them. Teammates notice, colleagues notice, even opponents notice. Discipline sets a tone that says, "This is the level we play at, nothing less." In that way, your own discipline doesn't just change your journey, it influences the culture around you. Finally, discipline outlasts any career. When the game ends, when the lights fade, when titles and trophies are just memories, discipline remains. It becomes part of your character, shaping how you approach every area of life, whether it's business, family, or personal growth. Success in sport is temporary. Success built on discipline is permanent because it's about who you become. So if you're searching for the secret to success, don't look for shortcuts or quick fixes. Look at your daily habits. Look at the choices you make when no one is watching. That is where the foundation is built. Talent gets you started, but discipline ensures you finish. Discipline may be the foundation of success, but passion is what fuels it. Without passion, discipline feels heavy, repetitive, and draining. With passion, those same routines become purposeful, even joyful. Passion is the energy that transforms hard work from a burden into a privilege. It is the difference between forcing yourself to show up and looking forward to the chance to improve. Failure is a word that many people fear, but the truth is this: no journey toward success is free of it. In fact, failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of it. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has faced setbacks, defeats, and disappointments along the way. What separates those who succeed from those who stop is resilience, the ability to stand back up when life knocks you down. Resilience is not about pretending that failure doesn't hurt, loss stings. Mistakes frustrate, disappointments weigh heavily. To deny those feelings is to deny our humanity. But resilience teaches us that those feelings are temporary. They do not define us unless we let them. Failure is an event, not an identity. One of the greatest lessons of resilience is perspective. When you're in the middle of a setback, it can feel like the end of everything. But when you step back, you realize it is only one moment in a much longer story. A single missed opportunity does not erase your talent. A single mistake does not cancel years of effort. Perspective allows you to see failure not as a wall, but as a bend in the road, a place to learn, adjust, and move forward. Resilience also means refusing to let failure have the final word. Too often, people quit after their first big setback, believing it to be proof that they aren't good enough. But the truth is that setbacks are proof you are trying something difficult, something worthy. No one fails at sitting still. We only fail when we step out of our comfort zone. In that sense, failure is evidence of courage. Resilience is the determination to keep going despite the scars. Consider the countless times an athlete misses a shot, a student struggles with an exam, or a professional faces rejection. Each failure can either become a reason to quit or a stepping stone to growth. Resilience transforms those failures into lessons. Instead of saying, "I failed, so I'm done," resilience says, "I failed, so I've learned. Next time I'll be better." That shift in mindset is the difference between stagnation and growth. Another dimension of resilience is adaptability. When plans fall apart, resilience asks, "What can I do differently? How can I adjust?" It's not just about enduring failure, but about using it to pivot. Those who are resilient do not simply repeat the same mistakes. They evolve, using each challenge as fuel to grow stronger. Resilience also builds inner strength. Every time you get back up, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. That self-belief becomes unshakable over time. It creates confidence not because everything goes perfectly, but because you know that even if things go wrong, you can endure and rise again. Beyond personal achievement, resilience inspires others. When teammates, colleagues, or family members see someone continue after a painful loss or setback, it gives them courage. Resilience is contagious. It teaches others that failure is survivable, that setbacks are temporary, and that persistence pays off. Life, like sport, guarantees struggle. There will always be defeats, rejections, and challenges, but resilience transforms those struggles into stepping stones. Every comeback, every recovery, every return from failure adds depth to your character and strength to your journey. So, if you want the secret to success, don't aim to avoid failure, aim to master resilience. Accept failure as part of the path, learn from it, and refuse to let it stop you. Because resilience does more than help you survive failure. It uses failure to propel you toward greater success. Passion begins with love. For some, it's the love of the game. For others, it's the love of learning, of creating, of building something meaningful. Whatever the field, passion comes from that deep sense of connection, the feeling that what you are doing matters. It gives you reason to keep going when results are slow, when challenges pile up, and when progress feels invisible. Consistency is often called the key to success, but consistency without passion eventually fades. You can only force yourself to grind for so long before fatigue and frustration catch up. Passion keeps the fire alive. It provides the why behind the effort. When you love the journey itself, not just the destination, consistency becomes natural. Consider the long hours of practice. To an outsider, repetition looks boring, the same drills, the same moves, again and again. But to someone driven by passion, repetition is not dull, it's exciting. Every small improvement, every slight adjustment, every extra bit of sharpness feels like progress. Passion allows you to see beauty in the grind. Passion also creates resilience. Obstacles are inevitable. There will be losses, injuries, rejections, and failures. Without passion, these setbacks feel unbearable. With passion, they become challenges to overcome. You don't quit because quitting would mean walking away from something you love. Passion gives you the strength to endure storms because the reward of staying the course is greater than the comfort of giving up. But passion is not only about emotion, it is also about purpose. Passion asks, why does this matter to me? That sense of purpose turns ordinary effort into extraordinary dedication. For example, an athlete may train not just to win, but because they feel alive when they play. A teacher may dedicate hours to lessons not just for a paycheck, but because they believe in shaping young lives. A leader may work tirelessly not just for success, but to leave behind a legacy. Purpose-driven passion transforms consistency into something unbreakable. Another powerful truth is that passion is contagious. When people see genuine enthusiasm, it inspires them. Passion lifts teams, energizes classrooms, and motivates communities. One person's passion can raise the level of everyone around them. That's why leaders who are passionate don't just achieve personal success, they ignite success in others. Still, passion must be nurtured. It can't be taken for granted. Just as a fire needs fuel, passion needs renewal. That might mean reconnecting with your original why, finding joy in small victories, or allowing yourself to dream bigger. Sometimes it also means stepping back briefly to avoid burnout, so you can return with fresh energy. Passion is powerful, but like any source of energy, it must be cared for. Passion also brings balance to success. When your work is fueled by passion, the journey itself is fulfilling, regardless of the outcome. Winning becomes sweeter, but even losing carries value because you love the process. That mindset is what allows people to remain consistent over decades, not just a season or two. In the end, discipline sets the structure, but passion gives it life. Discipline makes you show up. Passion makes you want to show up. Discipline builds habits. Passion gives those habits meaning. Together, they create consistency, the true mark of lasting success. So if you want to know the secret to staying consistent, don't just ask, how can I work harder? Ask, why does this matter to me? Find the love, the joy, the purpose in what you do, because when passion fuels your journey, consistency becomes unstoppable. No matter how talented or hardworking you are, success is never a solo achievement. Behind every great accomplishment is a network of people, teammates, coaches, mentors, family, or colleagues who provide support, encouragement, and guidance. The power of teamwork and relationships is one of the greatest secrets to success, because no one rises alone. Pressure is something every person faces, whether in sports, education, business, or everyday life. It comes in many forms: expectations from others, the weight of responsibility, or the fear of letting people down. Some see pressure as a burden, but the truth is that pressure is a privilege. It means that people believe in you, that the moment matters, and that what you are doing has value. The key to success is not avoiding pressure, but learning how to handle it with calmness. Calmness begins with preparation. Pressure feels overwhelming when you are unprepared, but when you have done the work, you can approach big moments with confidence. Think about an exam. If you studied consistently, you walk in calm because you know you are ready. If you didn't, anxiety takes over. The same principle applies in every area of life. The more prepared you are, the calmer you feel under pressure. Preparation transforms fear into focus. Another part of calmness is perspective. Pressure often comes from the story we tell ourselves: this is the most important moment of my life. If I fail, everything is over. That mindset magnifies the weight of the situation, but when you step back, you realize that one moment does not define you. Success is built over time through many opportunities. Viewing pressure as just one chapter in a larger journey makes it easier to breathe, to focus, and to give your best. Breathing and mindfulness also play an important role. Under pressure, the body reacts, your heart races, your muscles tense, your mind speeds up. Learning to pause, take a deep breath, and center yourself allows you to regain control. Calmness is not about removing adrenaline, but about channeling it. The energy of pressure, when controlled, sharpens performance instead of derailing it. Handling pressure also requires trust in yourself, your training, and your team. Doubt is the enemy of calmness. If you second, guess every move, pressure multiplies. But when you trust the work you have put in, when you believe in your abilities, you can face the moment with composure. That trust doesn't come overnight. It is built through consistent effort, day after day. Pressure can also be reframed as opportunity. Instead of fearing the moment, see it as a chance to rise, to prove yourself, to experience growth. Some of the greatest achievements in history were born in moments of high pressure. Without pressure, there would be no heroes, no breakthroughs, no unforgettable triumphs. Pressure creates the stage. Calmness allows you to perform on it. Calmness under pressure also impacts others. A calm leader steadies the team. A calm teammate gives confidence to those around them. Calmness spreads just like panic does. When you remain composed in high-stakes situations, you inspire others to do the same. That collective calm turns pressure from something that divides into something that unites. Of course, calmness doesn't mean ignoring emotions. It means controlling them so they serve you instead of controlling you. Nervous energy can actually be powerful when channeled correctly. It keeps you sharp, alert, and ready. Calmness is about balance, not erasing emotions, but mastering them. Finally, calmness under pressure builds resilience. Every time you face a high-pressure situation and remain composed, you grow stronger. The next time pressure comes, you know you've handled it before and you can handle it again. Over time, pressure stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like a familiar challenge, one you know how to meet. So the lesson is simple. Pressure is not your enemy. It is proof that you are in a meaningful moment, one worth caring about. By preparing, keeping perspective, trusting yourself, and staying calm, you turn pressure from a weight into a weapon. And in those moments, you discover not just how strong you are, but how calmness under pressure can bring out your very best. Teamwork begins with trust. Trust is the foundation of every relationship, whether on the field, in a classroom, or at work. When people trust one another, they communicate openly, they take risks together, and they give their best because they know others will do the same. Without trust, even the most talented group will struggle. With trust, an ordinary group can accomplish extraordinary things. In any team, each individual brings something different to the table. Some may be natural leaders, others are creative thinkers, and others thrive on consistency and discipline. Success comes when those unique strengths combine. True teamwork is not about everyone being the same. It's about everyone contributing their best so the group as a whole becomes stronger. Respecting and valuing those differences creates unity. But teamwork is not just about what happens when things go well. It is most tested during tough times, when the team loses, when plans fail, when morale dips. In those moments, relationships matter even more. A strong team supports one another, lifts each other up, and refuses to let anyone feel alone. That kind of unity is what carries people through setbacks and helps them rise again. One of the most powerful lessons about teamwork is humility. Success is sweeter when it's shared, but it requires putting aside ego for the greater good. That means sometimes sacrificing personal glory to serve the team's needs. It might mean passing instead of taking the shot, staying late to help a colleague, or stepping back so someone else can shine. True greatness is never about standing above others, but about lifting everyone together. Relationships go beyond the team itself. Mentors and coaches play an essential role in shaping success. They provide wisdom, guidance, and perspective that experience alone cannot teach. Listening to those who have walked the path before you accelerates growth. Building strong relationships with mentors is not just about receiving, it's about showing gratitude, respect, and the willingness to learn. Family and close friends also form the invisible team behind every achievement. They are the ones who encourage you in quiet moments, who keep you grounded, and who remind you of your values when the pressure feels overwhelming. Success can be isolating if you try to carry it alone, but with the support of loved ones, it becomes a shared journey. Teamwork also teaches accountability. When you are part of a team, your actions don't just affect you, they affect everyone. That sense of responsibility pushes you to work harder, to prepare better, and to give more effort because others are depending on you. Accountability is one of the greatest motivators, and it comes from strong relationships built on respect and commitment. Finally, teamwork and relationships extend beyond the field or workplace. They are life lessons. In every area of life, family, career, community, your ability to build trust, respect differences, and work together determines not just your success, but your happiness. Strong relationships give meaning to achievements and remind us that the journey is never just about us. So the secret is clear: success is never an individual trophy. It is the result of teamwork, trust, and relationships that shape who we are and what we accomplish. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. When people think about success, their minds often go straight to trophies, medals, titles, or wealth. Those are the visible signs of achievement, the things the world applauds. But the deeper truth is this: trophies eventually gather dust, medals lose their shine, and headlines fade. What remains, long after the applause stops, is your character. Character is the real measure of success, because it shapes not only what you achieve, but also how you achieve it, and how you are remembered. The true measure of success is not just in what you achieve for yourself, but in what you give to others. Achievements may define your career, but the impact you leave on people defines your legacy. Giving back and inspiring others is the final, and perhaps most important, secret to lasting success. When you reach any level of accomplishment, it is easy to believe the journey is only about you, your talent, your effort, your determination. But if you look deeper, you'll see that no success story is written alone. There are always mentors, teachers, family members, teammates, and communities who have lifted you along the way. Giving back is a way of honoring that truth, of acknowledging that you did not climb the ladder alone, and that you now have the responsibility to extend a hand to others. Giving back does not always mean grand gestures. It can be as simple as offering encouragement to someone struggling, sharing your knowledge with a younger person, or supporting a teammate who has lost confidence. These small acts often have the biggest impact because they ripple outward. A word of encouragement at the right time can change someone's life. A lesson shared from experience can save someone years of struggle. Inspiring others requires authenticity. People are not inspired by perfection, they are inspired by honesty. Sharing not only your successes, but also your failures, challenges, and lessons learned makes your story relatable. When others see that you have faced setbacks but refused to give up, they find courage for their own journey. Inspiration comes from showing people that success is possible not because you are flawless, but because you are resilient. Giving back also creates a cycle of growth. When you invest in others, you are not only helping them, you are helping yourself. Teaching, mentoring, or supporting others strengthens your own understanding and keeps you grounded. It reminds you of where you started and why the journey matters. In giving, You often gain more than you give because you grow as a leader and as a person. Another powerful aspect of giving back is creating opportunities. Not everyone has the same resources, access, or chances. Those who achieve success have the ability to open doors for others through mentorship, community work, or simply by believing in someone who others have overlooked. Creating opportunities for others ensures that your success does not end with you, but becomes a foundation for future generations. Inspiring others also requires living with values. People watch not just what you say, but how you act. Integrity, humility, kindness, and consistency are qualities that speak louder than any speech. By living out these values daily, you show others a path worth following. Leadership is not about titles or achievements. It is about example. Finally, giving back brings fulfillment. Trophies, wealth, and recognition may feel satisfying, but they are temporary. The joy of seeing someone succeed because you helped them, the gratitude of knowing you lifted someone when they were down, or the knowledge that your story gave someone courage to keep going, those things last forever. They give meaning to every sacrifice you made along your own path. So, the secret to success does not end with personal victories. It ends with passing the torch, with using your journey to inspire the next person to chase their dreams. Giving back ensures that your impact outlives your career, your achievements, and even your lifetime. In the end, the greatest legacy is not what you take with you, but what you leave behind in others. Success is multiplied when it is shared, and the truest sign of greatness is not how high you rise, but how many people you lift with you. Character is built in the small, quiet choices we make every day. It is in showing respect to others, even when no one is watching. It is in keeping promises, in treating people with fairness, and in holding onto integrity when it would be easier to compromise. Anyone can celebrate when they win, but character shows up in how you act when things don't go your way. Do you blame others? Do you give up? Or do you stay humble, learn, and come back stronger? True character shines brightest in adversity. Success can sometimes hide flaws, but failure and challenge reveal who we really are. When setbacks come, character decides whether you remain disciplined, whether you stay respectful to others, and whether you continue to push forward without cutting corners. Adversity tests integrity, and those who hold strong in tough times build reputations that last far beyond trophies. Another part of character is humility. No matter how successful you become, staying grounded is essential. Humility means remembering that talent is a gift, opportunities are not earned alone, and achievements are built on the support of others. Humble people don't diminish their success, but they acknowledge those who helped along the way: coaches, mentors, teammates, family, and friends. That humility builds respect and makes success meaningful. Character is also about how you treat people who cannot do anything for you. Trophies celebrate skill, but character is revealed in kindness. Do you respect the person who cleans the stadium the same way you respect the person who hands you an award? Do you value people not for their status, but for their humanity? Those choices define your legacy far more than victories on a scoreboard. Integrity is another cornerstone of character. In sports, business, or life, the temptation to cut corners or break rules can be strong when winning is at stake. But real success cannot be built on dishonesty. Shortcuts might bring quick rewards, but they damage trust, and once trust is broken, it is nearly impossible to rebuild. Integrity means choosing the right path, even when it is harder, because you know that your reputation is worth more than any prize. Character also extends to gratitude. Those with strong character never forget where they came from and the sacrifices made by others to help them along the way. Gratitude fuels generosity, inspiring people to give back to their communities, mentor the next generation, and use their platform for good. In the end, Character is about leaving the world better than you found it. Trophies and accolades may open doors, but character is what keeps them open. People may admire your achievements, but they will remember your values. A career, no matter how decorated, is incomplete if it lacks integrity, humility, and respect for others. So the secret is clear. Success is not defined by what you hold in your hands, but by what you carry in your heart. Trophies may celebrate moments, but character defines a lifetime. If you build a life of strong character, you will always be successful, even long after the trophies are gone.